I think there's two important concepts here that is important to understand. One is that the doshas, or you could say the vata, pitta, kapha, are a building block, right? So we all have some of vata and some of pitta and some of kapha. Now, for most people, there will be one dosha that is dominant. Okay, they're primarily a vata type, or primarily a pitta type, or primarily a kapha type, but they'll have some elements of the other doshas. Now, the second thing is it's pretty common to have dual doshas, where you have two of the doshas that are pretty close, such as vata and pitta, and it's sometimes hard to distinguish which one is more dominant. Some people can have all three. That's not as common. So it's predominantly you're going to be dominant in one or dominant in two. And when you do, just as a heads up, these quizzes are great just to give sort of a general understanding, but it's hard to really, there's so many layers, right? So it's hard to know the deeper understanding of your actual constitution, because there can be many layers. Think of it as the onion. So on the superficial layer, you might notice more of, say, vata qualities, but underlying you can still have pitta qualities as well. And that's when working with a practitioner, when you're looking at tongue and pulse, you're able to pick up on some of those subtle things. So essentially we have our body type that we're born with. Okay, so when we're born and we're children, we're generally healthy and we're generally in balance. But when we go through certain situations, right, it can be life changes, whether it's puberty or menopause, for example, or simply stressful events. You know, you're going to college, you're going through a job change, there will be fluctuations. So essentially these doshas are constantly moving throughout the day. On a sunny day, on a cold day, you know, we need to eat foods that are slightly different each day. Okay, so on a subtle level, they're constantly changing. You could say on a gross level, they don't change as frequently. So they'll change only when you're, you know, in a different stage of life, for example. Okay, so so the beauty of it is that it's constantly changing, but
Perfect.
the essence is usually there's one factor that is more dominant.
That's perfect. Yeah. So furthermore, they were asking if it's possible to change on a daily basis. And I think you're saying that, yes, you might have some days where, you know, you're feeling a little bit more one way, but on a gross scale, you'll probably find some dominance. So that's perfect.
Exactly. And now just to add to that a quick example, just to make it a little more tangible, let's say you wake up and it is a cold, snowy day and you have, you know, that little bit of mucus in your throat or chest. That is a nice day where you say, okay, I need to have more warming food. I need to have some soup. I need to have a good strong ginger tea and some black pepper. And that can clear things up. Versus a hot summer day, you wake up, you're already sweating, and you want to have some watermelon and some mint, for example.